What's poppin', y'all? Today we're going to talk about Lil Mosey and his come-up story. Dropping one of my favorite songs this year that I predicted was going to be a hit the day it released on my Twitter that you should definitely follow me on. He's been having tons of success, but Mosey is one of those rappers that has a really hazy come-up story. The kind where they just instantly blow up. And that had me thinking for a long time, how did this all come together for a 16-year-old at the time? So I got to digging. If you've known about Lil Mosey since late 2017, you would know that he was part of the SoundCloud rappers during that era, but got on really quickly thanks to the music video that was uploaded to Elevator for the song Pull Up. What looked like a 12-year-old holding what listeners would assume was a cup of lean with the way he was rapping sipping on lean, that's walk, talking about dealing drugs, rapping about pulling up and wetting the block, which was likely your neighborhood jungle gym. The contrast between that and his appearance concerning his age was big enough for it to spread, but people really liked the song as well. But how the hell did Mosey even get to this point? That's where the digging begins. And if you look into some old interviews that Lil Mosey did, we're going to reference the one he did with Complex in 2018 when they directly asked him about the song Pull Up. Let's take it back to how a lot of people first heard about you. How did the Pull Up video end up on the website Elevator? I just kept sending it into the website, the Twitter, the owner's Twitter. And then the owner, Brian, he seen it in the messages and he was just saying he wanted to drop it. It was like a Saturday. He said, I'm gonna drop it on Tuesday. Then it went crazy after that. This is a blatant lie, and we'll get into why soon. Let's also look at who is Lil Mosey's manager. Lil Mosey's current manager is Josh Marshall, who's most known for managing Smoke Perp. So how is it that Lil Mosey, who's from Washington, has the same manager as Smoke Perp, who's from Florida? The absolute opposite corners of the United States. Also, how does Mosey catch the attention of this manager when Smoke Perp was actually popping during that time? I know it's hard to believe considering how irrelevant Smoke Perp is now. Well, the thing is, Josh Marshall wasn't the first manager that Lil Mosey had. I was able to find and reach out to Lil Mosey's first manager and get the entire story with proof of the events that happened pre-Pull Up. The guy's legal name is Logan, or .wave Logan on Instagram. And in early 2017, he was at a house party when Mosey came up to him to show him his music. I gotta give Mosey his credit. He was really hustling and making moves. He was using this party to show as many people his music as possible. And Logan didn't really check it out at the time, but around 6 months later, he was on SoundCloud and one of his friends showed him Mosey's music. And he was rocking with it and reached out to Mosey to manage him. During this time, Logan was close with Steven Cannon, who was a rapper. He even had a Lyrical Lemonade video back in 2017. But he was also close friends and co-founded Xanarchy with Lil Xan, who was also really going to blow up soon at that time. He was also shooting videos in Seattle. But him and Mosey got to talking, and that's when Mosey tells him that he has this song and the video already shot for it by Young Tada, who's the videographer. You can even see him in the credits of that video. Mosey wanted to get on a bigger platform because he thought it would go up. So, as his manager, Logan started to work. These are some DM exchanges between him and Lil Mosey on November 28th, 2017, before Pull Up is ever premiered. What's the percentage you think of it being picked up by Elevator? I think pretty high. Do you want me to send it into anyone else? Who else you thinking? I sent it to Worldstar, but I doubt they'll see it since they get so many submissions. I'm gonna just let Elevator ride out a few days. Try to get tapped in with No Jumper too. But if Elevator picks it up, it's hot anyway. Because then it's gonna spread hella crazy. For real, just push that shit, we gonna take over, bro. I'ma send it where I can too. Yup, say that. We gonna take over. Huh. Logan was sending out mass emails to the public emails that these platforms have, but he knew that was unlikely to get read, so he began to do more and more digging to find the emails of people that actually worked and were movers and shakers on these platforms. And that's when he found Brian from Elevator on Twitter, and he sent him a DM with the Google Drive link to the video for Pull Up that they wanted to premiere on there, but he knew it would just get lost in the requests. So he also tweeted at him and told him to check DM. This is where Lil Mosey blatantly lied because he said that he did this when in fact he did not. And that's also why he says it was a Saturday and then it dropped on a Tuesday. He was very hesitant in his reply. On her screen is the DM exchange between Logan and Brian from Elevator. On December 5th, 2017, "Hey man, I've sent countless emails with no response to the submissions page. If you could check out my artist's first video, I'm hoping you enjoy it and would like to premiere it on the page." He currently does about 40k a month plays on his SoundCloud, with his top song with 370k. Below is a link to the Google Drive with the video. Thank you for your time, Logan. "Hey, what's your artist's name? Not a bad video. His name is Lil Mosey. He's out of Seattle. We just made him a new Twitter, so his Twitter don't got many followers. It's Lil Mosey1. His Instagram is at 1320mosey. If you like his music and the video, we'd love to premiere it on your channel or something along those lines." And then the next day, on December 6th, "Okay, we're down. Team's with it. Awesome. What day you want to drop it? You want to drop today? Yeah, I'm down. What time so I can drop the song on his SoundCloud too?" And then it drops on December 7th, 2017. Logan posts about it on his story, tagging Mosey with the purple demon emoji and prayer hands, and Mosey replies back with the gold medal. Things start moving fast at this point. The video gets nearly 100k views in just a week, as he says in his Complex interview, and this time it's actually the truth. "When did you notice that people were listening to it? Did it hit immediately?" "Yeah, everyone around me was just listening to it in my city. And it just kept getting farther, because the first day it hit 10k, second day it hit like 30, then it hit 60, then like 100, 180, then it kept going up to 1,000,000. While this is blowing up, Logan is getting calls from a man by the name of Hef, who was the A&R from Alamo Records, and I believe he now works for 10K Projects. And he put him in contact with Zeke Hirschberg, who is VP of A&R at Alamo Records. This may have been how Josh Marshall got connected with Lil Mosey, because he was managing Smoke Perp, like I said, who was signed to Alamo Records. But that's just a logical guess. Alamo Records wanted them to go out to New York. They were really trying to sign Lil Mosey. Logan was trying to line that up, but he had no idea things were going to blow up this quickly. And this is very rare that something like this happens. And he hadn't gotten Lil Mosey into a management contract yet. So he hit Mosey up. It was getting harder and harder to get a reply from Mosey, but he replied and told Logan to drop off a management contract at his crib. This is where the interview with Big Boy and Lil Mosey comes in handy to explain the situation, or the timeline, where he talks about what happened after Pull Up and how he planned on dropping out of school and moving to LA with his producer Royce.
And then I dropped my first music video, and then after a month it was I told my mom like, if this gets 30K in 3 days, I'm gonna give myself that. If it gets that, then I'm dropping out of school. Wow. And then it did that, but she didn't let me drop out of school. Right. But then a couple weeks later, I was on winter break. It was December. I was on winter break, and then my producer, Royce David, he was moving out here already with his manager and shit. So I was just my shit's at 100, 200K right now. I'm just gonna do it. Convince my mom, yeah, I'm out of here. I can't. I gotta do it.
Man, but wow.
But when Logan pulled up to Mosey's house to drop off the contract, he wasn't even there. Lil Mosey had dipped out to LA without even telling him, and he told him to drop off the management contract knowing he wasn't going to be there. 3 months later in March, Lil Mosey drops a music video for the song Booth Pack on World Star Hip Hop, and he was working on signing to Interscope Records. Logan hits him up again via text, and Mosey responds and tells him that he was really sorry about the whole situation, and he wanted a more experienced manager who was in the industry, since Logan wasn't really experienced. Logan was cool with it, but then Mosey said he was working on this deal with Interscope Records, and once he got that done, he would get Logan a spot on the team. Obviously, this didn't happen, and a week later, Lil Mosey just changed his number and ghosted him for good, as well as trying to delete any trace of Logan being the main guy to really help get Pull Up on Elevator, which was the song and platform that changed Lil Mosey's entire life forever. So let's do a little bit of a recap here. Lil Mosey was a hustler. He was already working with a producer and making music at 15, 16. Even got his own music video made for it. Had a couple thousand followers on SoundCloud. Well, it really wasn't taking off. He had built the infrastructure, but then he meets Logan, who helps him get onto the platform Elevator that skyrockets his career. Unlike the Kid Laroi, if you haven't seen that video, you should watch The Dark Side of the Kid Laroi. It'll be in the top right cards and description. I don't think Mosey really had any ill intentions. I think Mosey actually had good intentions. It was totally fair for Mosey to say that he wanted a more experienced manager, even after he said we about to take over. But to lie in the interview and take all the responsibility for that song getting on Elevator is out of hand. The absolute least you could do is give the man credit for the job that he did for you, instead of erasing him from history in what was the pivotal moment that brought birth to your career. Then promising that you were going to get him a spot on your team, just leading him on and just ghosting him after that. At least be straightforward. I'm not going to say you should have brought the guy with you. Not even he would say that. But all you had to do was not lie in the interview. And trust me, Mosey, I understand you're a rapper. Lying is a part of the job. I mean, an artist rapping the lyrics, pull up and wet the block, but having his chain snatched on camera and just standing there for 15 minutes getting punked is clearly lying in his lyrics. Got caught lacking. But you don't gotta lie in an interview. Ain't nobody holding a gun to you in that environment. You make yourself look like a massive scumbag when you try to erase someone's entire history and involvement in your first big song blowing up and getting you that deal with Interscope that changed your life. It isn't hard to reply to the question of how did Pull Up get on Elevator by saying, yeah, my old manager, Logan at the time, was reaching out to all these outlets and managed to get the video on there. And even if they ask you what happened to make him not your manager now, you just say, he was new to the industry and I just wanted someone more experienced since I was young and didn't know the business either. So we went our separate ways. It's that easy. Nobody's going to care or be mad because you explain the situation and it makes perfect sense. But no, you gotta lie instead. If you haven't already, give this video a like and also follow me on Instagram and Twitter for updates. On your screen will be another video that I did on Lil Uzi Vert you guys should check out.